Hello everyone, my name is Liz and today I have an express lower body workout for you using only body weight. When you're ready, we're going to get started with some drop squats, stepping out to the right. We'll be here for about 40 seconds before we rest and repeat the same thing on the opposite side. Make sure you're aligning your knees with your toes, keep the chest open and facing forward, and pull the core in. Okay, take a breather, we'll shake it out for 10 seconds. And now time for the left side, another 40 seconds here. Make sure you're moving only as fast as you can with good form. So we're getting some good cardio in here today as well as lower body work. And have a rest. We're going to return to those drop squats in a moment, but first we're going to do our reverse lunges repeating. So starting with stepping back on the right leg, you're going to drop down into that reverse lunge, come up, tap that toe by the heel, keeping that front knee bent to maintain the tension on the left leg, and repeat. Again, we're here for another 40 seconds before we rest and switch. Okay, shake it out. We're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. In 3, 2, and here we go, stepping back with the left leg. Don't forget to pull that core in every time you stand up. No arching in the lower back. Nicely done. Okay, bit of a rest here again. Now it's time for a superset. We're going to return to those drop squats, but this time we're going to alternate sides, immediately followed by an alternating reverse lunge. Starting with those drop squats. In 3, 2, and here we go. Dropping out to the right side, center, left side, center. Keep watching those knees and toes. Keep the core strong. Okay, let those squats go. Head right into your alternating reverse lunge. No rest here. As I said, we are supersetting, which means 2 exercises back to back. Again, we have another 40 seconds here before we rest and move on. All right, done with those lunges. We're going to take another longer breather here and then head down to the floor for some mat work. We'll be starting with a donkey kick. So as we're moving through these donkey kicks, we're engaging a lot of the glutes and the hamstrings, but I want you to think about your core as well. So when you're ready, let's head down to a tabletop position. Now kick the left heel up towards the ceiling, squeezing that glute, well, the glutes and hamstrings, while maintaining a strong core. Bring that knee back, right next to the opposite before you kick it back up and repeat the motion. So the main thing we want to focus on here is squeezing those lower body muscles without arching in the back. So maintain a strong spine by squeezing and bracing through the core. Pull the belly button in. Okay, quick little breather, stretch it out for a second. We'll repeat the same thing on the other side. Again, we're still working in 40-second intervals here. All right, here we go. Start that right leg. So if you're starting to feel that arching in the lower back, don't kick your heel quite as high. And let that go. We're going to move back to the left leg, but this time in our kickback variation, we're going to keep the leg extended. So let's return to tabletop, extend that left leg with the toe down, then squeeze the glutes and hamstrings to lift the leg straight up. Again, keeping it straight, save for a micro bend in the knee, just so we don't put too much pressure on our joints. We want to keep our elbows a little bit soft in this tabletop position as well for that same reason. Okay, quick rest, and then we'll switch to the right side. Here we go, in 3, 2, back to that straight leg raise. Keep the shoulders square, keep the hips square, pull the ribs in, pull the belly button in. So if you're doing this correctly, we should be getting a lot of good core endurance work as well. And have a rest. Quick breather here, and then it's time for a kick back circuit. So we're going to repeat all 4 movements we just did back to back. Left donkey kick, right donkey kick, left leg raise, right leg raise, starting with the left donkey kick. Here we go. Again, we are doing 40-second intervals of each exercise with 0 rest. Almost done with the left donkey kicks. And let's switch. Time for right leg donkey kicks. If your wrists are getting a little bit sore here, you can hang on to some dumbbells to straighten through the wrists, or else you can lower onto the forearms if you're feeling a lot of discomfort. This includes a little less core work, but it's a great modification if your joints still need to build some strength. Okay, we are back to the left leg, this time with your back leg raises. So again, our leg is extended, just with a slight bend in the knee. Another 40 seconds here. And switch, time for the right leg, final little bit of the circuit before we move on. And let that go. Okay, we are done with kickbacks. Now we're going to make our way onto our backs for some glute bridges, starting with just a standard glute bridge. So bring the heels in nice and close to your glutes, brace through the core, and when you're ready, we're going to push down through the heels and squeeze the glutes and hamstrings to lift the hips up to the ceiling. Make sure you're only lifting as high as you can, maintaining a strong core. If you're starting to arch in your lower back, exact same thing as in the kickbacks, don't lift up quite as high. Okay, quick rest here. Next, we're moving into a glute bridge march. So when you're ready, lift right back up to that glute bridge, then see if you can keep the hips up high while you lift one heel at a time, just a couple of inches off the floor. If that feels nice and easy, lift the knees a little higher, see if you can get them right above the hips. If you're feeling too much discomfort in your lower back or any discomfort at all, just hold a glute bridge at the top. So take away the movement altogether. We're here for 40 seconds as well. And have a rest. Quick little breather one more time before we superset those exercises. So we're heading right back to your standard glute bridge first. In 3, 2, here we go. Now adding those marches, another 40 seconds here before we rest and move on. Again, don't forget to keep that core nice and strong. And let that relax. Okay, we have a couple bridge variations left, starting with a hamstring bridge. So we're going to walk our feet out a little further from the glutes and flex our toes towards our shins. Then squeeze the glutes and the hamstrings to lift the hips up as normal. We're here for 40 seconds. Focus on squeezing the hamstrings, so squeeze through the backs of your legs as much as you can. And as always, I know I've said this a lot, but don't forget your core. And rest. Okay, exercise number 2 is going to be a bridge walkout. So one more time, lift right back up to that glute bridge, then step the heels out for a hamstring bridge, and then return back to that glute bridge form. We're stepping in a pattern of right, left, then switching the leading foot, left, right, and so on. And let that go. Okay, we have our final bridge superset. One more time, we are back to that hamstring bridge in 3, 2, and heading right into those walkouts, stepping into your standard bridge and then back out to your hamstring bridge. Final 40 seconds of glute bridge variations. All right, we are done with that. When you're ready, we're gonna roll onto your left side. Our next exercise is a side leg raise. So stacking the joints, hip, knees, and ankles, and propping your head up in your hand, let's lift that right leg up to the sky, keeping all those joints pointing forward, lower down to hover, and repeat. Now let's freeze at the top and move into a side leg raise pulse, keeping the leg as high up as you can while maintaining a braced core and pulsing with control. No swinging, no bouncing. And quick little breather. We're gonna repeat this one more time on the same side, really making our glutes and hips work here. We'll start back with that side leg raise in 3, 2, here we go. Finishing this side with one more set of pulses. and then we'll flip and do the same thing on the opposite leg. And let that right leg go. All right, flipping it over. We're moving into those side leg raises on the left. In 3, 2, here we go. Don't forget to keep your core braced even here. Imagine you're trying to lift your obliques off the floor. Moving into your pulse, keep the leg up nice and high. And have a nice little breather. We have one more round of those same exercises. Heading back into your side leg raise first. In 3, 2, last set here. Final set of that side leg pulse. Keep the leg up nice and high, work the glutes. And let that go. All right, everybody, that concludes our mat portion. All we have left is a quick little burnout. So we're gonna hop up back on your feet and jump into 30 seconds of floor to ceiling squats followed by pulses. So jumping into those squats, you're going to reach down between your feet to tap the floor and then shoot through the glutes to reach up to the ceiling. Moving as quick as you can with good form. Keep the back flat, keep the core solid. And then holding at the bottom of that squat, we're gonna pulse, squeeze the quads, pull in the core, take nice deep breaths, and a little rest here. Okay, we're gonna do that one final time, our last little push of the workout. We'll start with those floor to ceiling squats in 3, 2, here we go. And pulse it out. Last little bit of work. And relax. All right, that is all I have for you today. If you need some help with stretching, I've linked a lower body release in the corner. Otherwise, take care, and I'll see you very soon.